for the introduction. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. I'm the last speaker, but I hope I can keep you for a while, not too long. It will be an interesting talk. My talk is on nursing documentations. My content is what is documentation, the importance of professional documentation, why the errors can occur, what should you do and your don'ts, lesson to be learned, and the best practice in documentation. The documentation actually, in all the books stated that nursing documentation is the fundamental part of the nursing practice. And if you do your caring, means that you will do your documentation. And according to the definition, is any written or electronically generated information about a client that describes the care or service provided by you to the clients, and is an accurate account of what occurred and when it occurred. Therefore, through documentation, nurses communicate their observations, decisions, actions, and the outcome of this action for the clients. Therefore, as I say, if you care for your patients and you are doing your nursing care, means that you must do your effective documentations. Why is it that this I want to flash or want to inform to you regarding the importance or the purpose of professional documentation? Because there's many purpose or importance of documentation. Number one is the client-centered care. It is a tool and the information used by all nurses to enhance practice and their clients' care. Number two is for the communication, because it's the basis of communication between the healthcare professional. It provides reliable, permanent record of healthcare. Number three is accountability. When you do professional documentation, means you account for the records of their professional practice. It is a relation to performance management, internal inquiries, regulatory proceedings, and legal proceedings. Professional responsibility is an integral part of nursing practice and form the basis for evidence-based practice of nursing care. Is a legislative requirement. You are all nurses or healthcare providers. You are required to make and keep records of your professional practice in accordance with your practice standards, and is a legislation required specific information to be recorded, and is of quality, is to evaluate your professional practice. Is for research, is very important. That's why when we want to do research for nursing research, we find very lacking, because we need your documentation to do research. And the last is of resource management, is a valuable source of evidence and rationale for funding and resource management. Now we ask ourselves or reflect, for all of us, documentation in the peri-operative, as what in this conference, we ask ourselves, I don't need an answer, but we think about it. Are we doing enough regarding our documentation? We have listened to all the speakers, and now we ask. Because in this, my talk, is not saying what should you do, but what I want you all to think is to reflect back. What have you done? And what to improve in your documentation. Why is it that I say that, is it enough that you have done for your documentation? According to this study, a Swiss cheese model, which I've done, adapted by this Ressen in 1990, they use a cheese model. The hole in the cheese is a failure. They say that there's many factors to find that why is it there's a failure in documentation. Number one is the organization. Probably there's no standard or SOP in the operative checks. Number two, in the workplace, probably because of your workload, pressure to do more cases. I think it's very common, isn't it? Number three, no team briefing prior to operation being commenced. Individual, it can be a doctor, it can be the nurses, it can be an MA or the anesthetist. Lack of surgeon awareness of risk of incorrect surgery, or the nurse ask Mr. Smith to confirm the name, but she or he, you have a nurse now who is a male nurse who did not state his name. But however, at the end of it, you have the patient, Mr. Sims, partly because he's deaf and he answered yes. So what is the outcome? Is there's a harm to the patient. Mr. Sim has a wrong operation. So this is what I think before this all the speakers have said about wrong side, wrong operations. So this is the thing for you to think, why is it documentation is very important? Yeah, this is I've seen about these models. Yeah, to illustrate the simple why is it these things can happen. Therefore, we know why, but what should nurses do and the don'ts in the documentations? Actually, all these things, what we are trying to, or what we trying to help you is because we are trying to protect nurses. Please understand that what we are saying is to protect all of you nurses, yeah? So the do's, you should remember, number one, this is very important, make sure you have the correct charts. Yeah, sometimes we use the wrong charts before you begin to chart. Number two, documentation must reflect your professional capabilities. Sometimes when you chart, it reflects on you whether we are professional or not. Right legibility means very clear, big, yeah, so that everybody can read it. For chart the time you give the medication, for example, the time, the date is very important, the administration route and the patient response. Chart the precaution, preventive measures used such as bed rails. Record each phone call to a doctor, the exact time, the message and the response. Chart your patient care at the time you delivered the care. If you have just remembered a point after you complete a documentation, chart the entry with a notation that is a late entry. Record the time and the date of the entry if it's a late entry. And when you do documentation, document enough to tell the story. Means that when people read your documentation, they know what is happening. This is what they are saying, tell the whole story. Sometimes when you read, sometimes nurses record or they put new evidence. We do not understand sometimes what it has happened. So this is what we mean by right to tell the people the whole story. The do, please chart or do your documentation based on your observation, evidence and your assessment. You must chart not according to your feelings, your emotional, but according to your own observation, your evidence and your assessment. Example, avoid recording statement says, ini very common, our nurses, we say our patient uncooperative, our client depressed. This is not correct. But what should you write in your documentation? You should reflect what you have observed the behavior. Apa yang you nampak dalam behavior of your clients. For example, your clients refuse bed bath, shout, and shake dia punya fist, or clients showing signs of depression, not eating, difficulty getting to sleep, early waking, staying in the room, no interest in engaging with others. This is the correct words that you can be used, because if you said when clients is uncooperative, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by clients is depressed? So this is the second one, is it makes the documentation very clear. Patient understands. The don'ts. Don't chart symptoms. Example, complaint of pain without also charting what you did about it. Important is what you did if the patient complained of pain. Don't alter a patient record. Don't use abbreviations. It's very common nowadays, especially with, we are so used with SMS. I see nowadays, very difficult for us to understand what you mean. Yeah? Or short forms that are not universally accepted. Don't record imprecise, such as large amount. What do you mean by large? You should be saying about 500 mils of blood. You understand? Yeah? Not what, or bed soaked with blood or urine. What is the amount? Don't chart what others said, heard, felt, or smelled, unless the information is critical. It's what you observe, what you access. This is important. Don't chart care ahead of time. This is very common. We nurses or allied health, we are so eager. You want to go back before 2 o'clock or 2:15. You do your report early or you chart early. And if something happened to your patient, this is, they bring it to court. Yeah, and I think that our Malaysian nurses or our allied health, very seldom you go to court. But recently when I came back from UK, there was a lot of written about nurses being not doing documentation and unregistered. They were registered. They were taken out from the registered, from the nursing board. So please nurses, we are going to be liable. Yeah, you will be called to the court. Yeah, and this is charting something that you have not done is a fraud. Please remember that. Do not simply chart. Yeah, because it's an evidence. Yeah. This is something I like to stress to nurses, which is very common that we do it. We accept orders over the telephone and generally made without the physician direct assessment on the client's condition. We always call the doctors, this patient is not well, we need all these things, and the doctor doesn't know. They rely on your observation or what you inform them. So decisions are based solely on the nurse's assessment of the clients. Any miscommunication or lack of communication could lead to negative implication for the clients. And the verbal order, error in recording telephone orders can occur, and there is always the question of who made the error. Is it the physician in ordering or the nurse in recording? This is very important. When there's a mistake, we always say the doctor who informed us to give 10 milligrams, but the doctor says no, I did not say 10 milligrams, I said 5 milligrams. This is very common. So please think about it. Yeah, please make sure the doctor document to save and to protect you. Yeah, sometimes we try to help people. Sometimes we try because we sometimes pity the doctors for, we say that, oh kesian doktor ni tak tidur, never mind, I help. But it's important. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done, but listen. You must listen properly. Is the instruction clear or not? And better to get the doctor to evidence it, to document it. What did I learn? I like to, I'm not telling you, but I want you to go back and think about, whatever that you have during the conference. Not only remember, listen, but to apply. So this is what I like to share with you all. What are the lessons to be learned? I went through a lot of the literature search. I found this one case study, failure to communicate. Mr. S died while he is in the hospital, very common case. His death was attributed to obstruction of his endotracheal tube by a mucus plug. Following his death, Mr. S' family brought a professional negligent action against the hospital and some of its nurses and the respiratory therapists. The allegation by the family against the hospital nursing staff were failure to suction the ET tube and failure to communicate, breathing difficulty to the patient healthcare provider. It can be in the anesthetist department. So, number ni, the plaintiff punya expert, they call a physician, testified that the nurse breached the standard of care by not appropriately suctioning the ET tube and failing to communicate the patient breathing difficulties to the healthcare providers. So what do we learn, nurses, about this? Important is what we learn. Patient has died, but has what? Just now they say, what do future that we don't want these things to happen? A nurse is responsible for knowing and following the recognized standard of care. That's why just now we say, what is the purpose? What is the importance of documentation? In this case, the standard require you to suction the patient ET tube to avoid or remove the mucus plug. The nurse also had a duty to monitor the patient, and you are supposed to immediately alert the healthcare provider about the patient breathing difficulty, and you are supposed to communicate by a written. You are supposed to do your documentation, written communicating his difficulty. Because nothing in the medical record, you did not document, indicate that the nurse had done these things. She had no defense against the allegation. So it means that the nurse, you are doing wrong. It means that you did not do, even though you have done it, because you did not document. They found that you are negligent and caused the patient to die. So please, nurses and all allied health, documentation is very important, and this is a lesson to be learned. What else lesson to be learned? This is another one I found in a study. This study shows the role of documentation. It's a literature review by Breath in 2011. They reviewed 56 literature review. It's a very, I find very interesting literature review. 56 they reviewed. What was their findings? The result highlight that documentation such as surgeon operation notes, anesthetist records, nurses, peri-operative notes, deficient in the areas of design, quality, accuracy, and function, contribute to the development of communication failures among healthcare professionals across the peri-operative pathway. So therefore, they found that it's your communication failure between all the teams. Therefore, because of the communication failure in documentation, the consequences, akibatnya, you have inefficiency, delay, and increased workload through to serious adverse patient events such as wrong site surgery, which just now all the speakers have shown. So this is a very important studies which they reviewed 56 literature review, and they found all this communication failure was the results of it. So therefore, nurses, I know you are very excellent nurses. You do your work, this is the nurse. But what happened? Because poor documentation can provide the foundation for a disciplinary complaint against a nurse and could lead to a disciplinary action. I just want to tell you this information. I'm also a nursing board members. In our Malaysian Nursing Board, we have a disciplinary committee. All whatever the complaints regarding, I see that a